I've made a very good amount of money online, so much I was able to buy my dream car at age 17. And this is because I tried a lot of different business models. Some of them worked very well for me. A lot of them also failed for me. And so in this video, I'm going to share my personal experience and rank the popular business models online, so you know which are the best ones to get started with that you should try, and which are the worst ones that you should probably avoid and not do online, right? And so the first one is dropshipping. Now, dropshipping is probably the most popular or famous business model online that everyone knows about. If you don't know what dropshipping is, it's basically where you set up like a website and you're selling products, and people order the products from your website, but you never actually send it out to them from personal inventory. You order it from China and send it directly to the person who ordered from you. So dropshipping is basically you're just selling crappy products from China to people in America and other countries like that. Now, dropshipping, the first thing we need to understand with dropshipping is that it's not a very simple business model to get into. And simplicity, 5 being very good, 1 being the worst, it's like a 2. And the reason is with dropshipping, you're not just setting up a store on Shopify. There's so many things you have to set up with dropshipping, right? Like you have to set up a store on Shopify. You then have to get a custom domain on GoDaddy and connect it to your Shopify store. You then have to find a DSR supplier and connect that to your Shopify store. And then you have to set up, official return agreements and tax records and things like this. There's just so much that goes into actually getting your Shopify store up and getting it all going. So it's not a very simple business model to get into. The other huge problem is the money needed to start. So I actually tried dropshipping as one of the first business models I tried. And in the first month with dropshipping, I actually made about 150-ish bucks in terms of sales. I was selling basically, let me show you what I was selling real quick so you understand. I was selling these slides or these shoes, right? So I was selling them online. They look just like this. And I was selling them for about 19 bucks, if I remember correctly. So I made a decent amount of sales. The problem was I made the 150 bucks in sales, but guess what? I spent like 400-ish, 450-ish bucks on ads. So I actually lost money. And it's one of the big problems with dropshipping is that just to even like get started, I'd say you need about 1,000 bucks, right? So for example, if you're running Facebook ads, for you to even run a successful Facebook ad which is profitable, Facebook needs to understand, okay, who should they push the ad to? Who's the right audience to push this ad to? So for that, they need to test out the ad in a bunch of different markets, right? And so you need to spend like at least 1,000 on Facebook ads just to even pick out the right audience for Facebook to push your ad to, so that you can become profitable, right? So it requires a bunch of money to get started because of the ads. Then you can do it without ads, but then it's almost impossible to get sales like that. So requires a lot of money to get started, which is why it's not a very good business model. And then lastly, the earning potential. Now, this is a very, very, very big one, right? Because you've probably seen like, you're probably like, why did I only rate the earning potential 3, right? Isn't it a one which makes you a ton of money? Because you've probably seen like on Instagram Reels, people are flexing like, oh, here's my Shopify dashboard, $100,000 this day, $200,000 this month, etc., etc. First of all, a lot of those results are fake. Even if they're refreshing the screen, it's very easy to fake it on Shopify. But second of all, the problem is, right, even though you may see these crazy numbers, right, like 250K, that's 250K in revenue, not in profit, right? Revenue is the money that you make. Profit is the money you actually get to keep after all your expenses and stuff like that. And the average dropshipping profit margins, so you make 1,000 bucks, how much of that do you actually get to keep? It's about 30 to 40%, right? So you make 1,000 bucks on your dashboard here in sales, you only get to keep about maybe 300 bucks in profit, right? Now, different profit margins for different stores and stuff like that, but that's on average, right? It's very, very bad because you have to spend so much on ads, and you sell a product, well, you have to actually buy it yourself from the Chinese supplier. You have to actually send it out with the shipping, and there's just a lot of costs which go into it. So very low profit margins, horrible earning potential, very complicated business model to get started with. And so I would rank Shopify as a D. It's very close to being an F too. I wouldn't recommend you get started with it at all. Second one is TikTok automation, right? So if you don't understand, TikTok automation is basically just posting TikTok clips onto TikTok. So you might post clips of like popular streamers, or you probably seen it like streamer clips of like iShowSpeed and these popular guys, or maybe you're making your own videos, whatever it is. TikTok automation is actually a business model which has made me a lot of money. Like I've made over $100,000, about $110,000 with TikTok automation. In fact, I'll show you, for example, one of my accounts here, right? So, for example, this is one of my accounts. So I ran a lot of accounts in like the bodybuilding, stamps to look niche with 180,000 followers. I have another account in this niche with 300K followers. I had another one with 500K. So I've got like, almost a million followers across all my TikTok accounts combined. And I made a good amount of money with it, right? But if you look at my recent video, I might start posting on it again. But my most recent video was like 4, 5, 6 months ago, right? And that's because it used to be an insanely good business model to make money with, but there's a reason I don't do it anymore. There's a reason I do another business model now. But with TikTok automation, right? So the simplicity of it is really nice, right? In terms of like, you don't have to set up like a website or all this complicated stuff. All you have to do is just learn how to edit videos, post them, you get paid for your views. Like the structure of the business model is very simple. You post videos, you get paid for your views. That's really all there is to it. The money needed to start is also really nice. You need almost no money to start. You might need like maybe $5 to $10 to pay for like an editing software, like on CapCut Pro or something like that. But you could literally start it with like $0. That's how I started. In fact, TikTok was the first ever profitable dollar I earned online. Took me about 3 months to make my first dollar on TikTok. But since then, like I said, over 6 figures that I made from it. The last one is earning potential. And this is the reason that I'm not really doing TikTok automation anymore. And in the future, I might, if you're watching this, in the future, they may change the platform or something, and I might be like, oh, now I can make money with it again. But for now, I'm not doing it, and that's because back in the day when the TikTok program, where they're paying for views, first came out, like about a year and a half ago, it was insane how much money you could print on there. It was really, really good. And it was like, for example, you got 1 million views on your video, you'd get paid about 1,000-ish bucks. I remember I got paid about 1,300 bucks, right? But on average, it was like 1,000 bucks per million views. And so now though, you get 1 million views. Well, first of all, TikTok will only pay you for qualified views. So 1 million views, you only get paid for about 500,000 of them because they're not qualified. Then with the 500,000 views, you might get paid like maybe 150 to 200 bucks with that, maybe. Let's say like 150 bucks. So now it's like, it used to be you get 1 million views, you make 1,000 bucks. Now it's like you get 1 million views, you actually end up earning about 150-ish bucks. I've seen some accounts get even worse than that. They also suspend your account from the program. Like there was literally, not even joking, there was 1 month where that TikTok account I just showed you made me $13,000 in a month. And it was like 3 or 4 days left in the month. I was going to get my payout, basically moved to my PayPal and stuff. And then out of nowhere, a bunch of my videos got hit with unoriginal strikes, and that $13,000 completely gone, right? Like didn't get paid out for it or anything like that, right? Just all my earnings gone. So the earning potential used to be really good, but because so many people have started it, now it's become, I don't like using the term saturated, right? Almost no business models are too saturated, but TikTok is one where maybe it actually is. So earning potential, still a really good business model if you can hit it right. But with just how much they're paying now compared to what they used to, I'll give it a B, right? Back in the day, it used to be like an S or an A tier, but now it's like a B. It's okay-ish, right? Next business model is Iman Gotchi SMMA, right? So if you watch Iman Gotchi, you know like the business model at least he used to always talk about, and the one which kind of made him famous is SMMA. So SMMA is not his business model. It's not like he invented it, right? It's been around for like ages, but he's the one who's made it popular and like made it famous, right? So people kind of just associate it with him. So that's why I'm saying like this model of Iman Gotchi SMMA, so you kind of understand, right? If you don't know what an SMMA is, it stands for Social Media Marketing Agency. So if you just break it down, social media marketing agency. So what you're doing is, the basic premise of the business model is that you're reaching out to businesses. Like maybe you say, for example, okay, I'm going to reach out to gyms. You reach out to gyms, like lifting weights kind of gyms, and you're like, by the way, and you're like, you call up the gym or you email them, you send them a DM. You're like, hey, I would like to help you grow your gym by running your social media accounts for you and helping you to market it better. That's like the basic premise. So, and then you're like, all right, pay me $1,000 a month and I'll do it for you, right? So you reach out to businesses, you offer them that service of marketing for them, and then they pay you for it. By the way, if you have any questions throughout this video, and also I'd really like to know your opinion, leave a comment below. I try my best to reply to every single question that's in the comments. So leave a comment, I'll reply to your question. But the business model, first of all, simplicity. This is where it's not very good at all. It's like a 1, right? So for example, if you're first of all, there's so many skills which you have to understand in this. You have to understand how to do cold outreach, right? So how to reach out to these businesses. Then you have to understand how to funnel them through your funnel and nurture those businesses, right? Who will be potential customers for you. Then you have to understand, okay, now you're on the phone with them, how do you actually close them for your agency, right? A lot of stuff like that. And then this is the hardest one. Once you've closed them and they've become a client or anything like that of yours, and even before you do that, you have to actually understand the skill that you're going to help them with, right? So, like I said, for example, let's say you go up to a business and you're like, okay, I'll run your Facebook ads for you, right? I'll run your Facebook ads for you and I'll help you to grow your business. Do you understand how much goes into understanding Facebook ads? It's not like you just pop a 10-minute YouTube video, watch that, and then at the end of it, you know everything there is to know about Facebook ads, and you're qualified to then go and run them for a business. There's so much that goes into this, right? So you have to first develop the skill which you're going to even offer them, right? So in terms of like the simplicity of a business model, it's not a good one to get into, and this is why so many people who start an agency are just unable to sign clients. In fact, I actually tried an agency myself. Now, I didn't stick with it for very long. If I stuck with it for longer, maybe I could have been successful with it. But the point is, right? This was actually my first ever business model I tried because of Iman Gachi, because I started watching him, right? And so it's not a very business model to get in, good business model to get into, because of the simplicity. Now, if you watch Iman Gachi, the way he makes it sound is really good, right? Like if you watch an Iman Gachi video, he's like, well, an agency is so simple to get started with. It requires no money and you can make a ton of money with it. Why do you think he's saying that? Because he's trying to sell you a course, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with selling courses. This like disclaimer. People have this misconception like, oh, he's trying to sell a course. There's a lot of people who do courses in the wrong way. There's a lot of scammers who sell courses. I understand, right? But if you're selling a course the genuine way, it's good. Iman Gachi, on the other hand, the way he sells courses is completely wrong, right? Like, first of all, the way he lies to you about, he said he made millions of dollars with his agency. For those who don't know, I grew up in the UK, and in the UK, you basically all these businesses, they have to publicly release all their records. So you can search up all these businesses online. Iman Gachi grew up in the UK, and that's where he did his agency. It only made him $70,000, right? And don't get me wrong, 70,000 is good, right? But when you're saying it's making you millions, completely wrong thing to do. So screw Iman Gachi. If you're, I know it's like every video I just hate on him, but if you're selling courses the way he does, where you're lying about results and you're like, oh, there's only 5 spots available, get it now before it's gone because soon I'm increasing the price, and then there's actually like 50 spots available. If you're doing that whole like lying marketing thing, it's like what Iman Gachi does. There's tons of videos exposing him online. You should go watch them. But screw Iman Gachi. Do not sell courses or be like him at all. So earning potential is like a 2 as well, for this business model, because it's okay. Like I said, if you sign even just one client, you can sign them for like $1,500 to $2,000. But then also think about it. In order to sign a client for $2,000, you're gonna have to be pretty good what you're doing, right? And so the earning potential is good if you can sign a client. But that's a big if, huge if there, because most people who start an agency, they quit because they find it so hard to sign a client. So agency, I'd say it's like a C, right? It's a good business model for like, there's a bunch of like $billion agencies out there. But we're not worrying about $1 billion. We're trying to hit 10K months or 20K months, right? So as a beginner, or like us down here, not a good business model to get into, right? Now, next is Skool Community, right? So if you don't know what a Skool Community is, let me just show you real quick. Skool is basically a platform where you can host a community and then people pay you to join their community. Now, a Skool Community, you can teach anything in there, right? So there's Skool Communities about how to become better at cutting hair for barbers. There's also Skool Communities about how to become better at posting YouTube videos for YouTubers. There's Skool Communities about how to get in shape for bodybuilders or people who want to get in shape. So I'll show you real quick Skool. Now, if you don't know Skool, this guy, Alex Ramosi, who is very famous. If you don't know his name, you'll definitely recognize his face. This guy right here. He's like the creator of Skool. And if you watch my videos, you know I'm a huge fan of this guy, Alex Ramosi. Like, out of all like the gurus or whatever you want to call them online, this guy is the GOAT. Like, every video is just value packed. He gives away so much value for free. Really, really genuine guy as well. Incredibly smart as well when it comes to business. And the way he explains it is just so simple. I know I'm just glazing him, but he deserves it because he's like insane. And so he was the one who designed the Skool Community. And let me just show you real quick, like what I mean by Skool Community. So, for example, this is a Skool Community which I'm helping someone to set up. We only set it up like 4 or 5 days ago. We've already got 900 members into it. And with this Skool Community, it's basically a Skool Community around looks maxing, right? So how guys can improve their looks through these different methods and stuff, right? And so it's basically like you have a community thing here where people can interact with each other, and then you can also put like courses in your community. So you can do one about like I said, there's tons of different categories on community. There's the ones about making money online. There's the ones about like different hobbies, sports, stuff like that, right? But basically, you're setting up a community which people can join. So, for example, maybe I want to join this community, and a Skool Community. First of all, the simplicity is like a 3, right? Because the actual setting up an actual Skool Community in and of itself, the entire Skool Community, the platform was designed to specifically be simple for beginners to get started, right? Like that's the whole. So like I started on Skool as a complete beginner to this whole like industry or kind of like business model, right? And I found it very simple to get started with as a beginner because that's how the platform is specifically designed. So it's like they don't let you do like a whole bunch of crazy customizations, which is actually nice because for beginners, a lot of that just overwhelms you. It's like it's very simple to get started and actually create and set up your community. The reason I'm not giving the simplicity a 1 or a 5, sorry, like a really good simplicity level, is because like in terms of like the outside kind of stuff, like how you drive people to your community and what you offer and how you're going to monetize your community and stuff like that, what pricing to do, there's a little bit more like business savvy stuff which you need to get started with. The nice thing though is if you do create a Skool Community, like I'll show you right now, if you do create a Skool Community, basically Alex Tramosi, he gives away like these courses for like if you create a Skool Community, and it's basically just instructions showing you how to do it, right? So like how to drive people to your community, how to monetize it, stuff like that. So it is actually a very nice one to get started with. Like I said, Alex Tramosi, absolute G. So and also you can even get like on a Q&A with him. Now I'm not affiliated with Skool or anything, and I'm not going to have an affiliate link I'm going to try to promote to you. I'm just being like completely honest. It's a very good platform. The money needed to start, it's like a 4. So there's one charge pretty much. You have to pay $100 per month to get started with a Skool Community. To host your Skool Community, it's $100 per month, but that's it. There's no more extra charge or anything like that. The nice thing though is you can get started for free on a 14-day free trial. And the best part about that is actually the earning potential. So these statistics, I'm going to say them. By the way, please drop a like on this video so I can get more views. I'm very selfish. I want more views. But with the Skool Community, these stats are going to blow your mind. So just sit back and process this because it might give you a heart attack, right? With a Skool Community, 56% of people, I'll say it again, 56% of people who start a Skool Community make money within their first month. Just process that for 1 second, right? And these are like complete beginners starting. 56% of people who start a Skool Community make money within their first month. Insane. Not only that, the average person on Skool, not the top guys. There's top guys out there doing like 100K months and stuff on Skool. Just the average person on Skool, this average Skool Community makes $1,360 per month. Insane, right? That's just the average. Because these other business models like dropshipping, I'd estimate maybe like 15% of people who do dropshipping actually ever make money with it. Maybe even less than that. Maybe like 5%, right? With this, it's 56% of people just in the first month. It's even higher than that in like the second or the third month and stuff like that. So I'll say like 70-ish% of people who start a community on Skool make money. So for that, absolute S tier. Like Skool Communities are really, really great. In fact, I have a faceless Instagram page I run. One of the ways I monetize it with the Skool Community, it made me like about 6.2-ish, 6.3-ish thousand dollars just last month alone, just from one community. And it's pretty much on autopilot for the most part. Next one is newsletters. So if you don't understand what a newsletter is, it's the very, very simple definition of a newsletter is you collect people's emails and then you send emails to them, right? So you're like, how do I make money from that? Well, there are a lot of ways you can monetize those emails. So you can sell digital products in those emails. You can promote affiliate links, different stuff like that. There's also a way that I found online. So literally you can make money just by people giving you their email. That's it. They don't have to pay you or anything like that. If you want, I think I mentioned this already, but there will be a top link in the bio. I have a free course, 100% free, by the way. It's the top link in the bio, and it explains how you can make money with this, because this is the main business model where I've actually made the most money in recent times. And the powerful thing about newsletters is if you just look at any successful, I don't care if it's a company, like a business, if it's a personal influencer like Andrew Tate, Iman Gotchi, like pretty much any like business out there, personal brands, agencies, whatever it is, they pretty much all have some form of email marketing. So in one way or another, Nike, they'll have a place where you can sign up and get emails sent out. Like Andrew Tate, he sends out emails, right? Like all these, every business model, sends emails in one way or another. And that's because it's so effective to make money with emails. And it's actually not very complicated to get started as a beginner. All you need to do really is you just set up an email list on like an email list platform. You set it up once, you collect people's emails, and then you send emails to them. That's really it. Now, you do have to kind of learn what to put into their emails. I have videos on my channel if you want to watch it, of how I literally made like $23,000-ish in from just one email list, which I had. So the simplicity is like, it's pretty simple to get started with. The money needed to start is like you pretty much don't need any money to start. You might need like maybe 15 to 20 bucks for like a software to host your email platform. But most of them you can get started for free. So you don't really need any money to start. And the earning potential with emails is just out of this world. So there's a reason I put 5 billion there. Alex Hormozi, for example, he says that across all his business models or platforms or any like sources of income which he has, emails are the most powerful. He says he has an average ROI, return on investment, of 46x. So he invests $1,000 into his email list or email marketing. He makes back $46,000 from that 1,000. Just think about how insane that is for 1 second, right? So that's like, for example, if you put $10 into your email platform or email list or whatever, you'd make back 460. Now, if you're like, where's he spending the money? He pays to get people onto his email list with like ads and stuff to get people to sign up for it. I basically have a way of getting people on there for free. But with emails, if you're doing them correctly, you should be able to make about $1 per month for every person on your email list. So, for example, if you can build an email list, and you don't have to build it all in 1 month, like you might over the span of an entire year build an email list to like 10,000 subscribers, you should be making about $10,000 per month, right? Now, I've grown like huge email lists, and I haven't even hit the benchmark yet of $1 per subscriber because I'm still learning it myself. So I've made like all that money from email lists, and I'm still learning it. Like I'm, for the most part, mostly a beginner to emails. I know what I'm doing for the most part, but like that just shows you if I can make that money with it, I don't even know very much about it. It's like, as a complete beginner, emails are the way to go. And like I said, you can literally check out one of my videos on my channel. I talk a lot about it, but it's like you can literally make money just having a page. I'll show you real quick. Just let me show you the insanity of this, right? So this is a guy here who I'm helping with his email list. And if you look at it, he made $100, right? So he made $100, and that's $100 in 1 day, by the way, right? So that's like 3,000-ish per month, 3 to 5-ish thousand per month potential. You want to see his Instagram page where he's driving emails from? 200 followers. So 200 followers, and he could potentially be making $3,000 per month just from emails, right? That's how insane it is. You don't even need like a huge list or anything like that. And you can check out, like I said, I have a bunch of videos on the channel about emails, but it's like insane earning potential there, right? So emails, S tier, right? If you were to take away everything I own, right? Like my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my like everything, but just leave me with one thing, I would choose emails every time. And this is what all the big entrepreneurs online say. Alex Hormozi, Charlie Morgan, even Iman Gotchi has said this in one of his Instagram stories. Like, emails are the way to go. So S tier for sure. Then we have day trading, right? So if you don't know what day trading is, you probably know what like stocks or crypto is. Basically, for example, stocks, like trading, you buy a stock at $100, the stock goes up, you sell, you make money. You buy at $100, it goes down, you sell, you lose money. That's the basic premise of how trading works. Now, the simplicity of trading, specifically day trading, right? Day trading is very different to like other forms of trading, and I actually haven't done day trading myself. I have done crypto and stocks though. Like I do have some money in crypto just kind of sitting there. Like I have some money but it's like long-term stuff, right? So I have like money in Bitcoin, and I'm just holding that for the next like 5 to 10 years, right? It's not like day trading. Day trading is basically where like it's very fast. There's a reason why it's called day trading. For example, you may buy a coin or if you're doing it on stocks or crypto or whatever, on stocks, you buy a coin or you buy a stock or whatever, and you sell it like 5 minutes later, or you sell it 20 minutes later. It's like very fast action pace there, right? So, like I said, I'm not an expert on this. I don't really know a crazy amount of it. But the first reason why it's not a good business model to get into is the simplicity level of it. Getting into day trading. Now, I can understand crypto, right? So I understand like how crypto works, market caps, candle graphs and stuff like that. I understand how like crypto and stocks work. Day trading, I've tried to understand it in the past. Trying to understand day trading as a beginner, it's literally like taking a fifth grader and throwing him in a pre-calculus class, right? A fifth grader and throwing him in a pre-calculus math class. It's like he's gonna be there like, what the frick is this, right? There's just so many terms and like a lot of it is kind of guesswork if you're new to it. Now, if you've been doing it years and years, it's not really guesswork. But it's like, for example, like, okay, this, it goes down, but then it goes up. Now you have to predict that it's going to go up and then down and then up again and down and then up, and it's like all this stuff all over the place. The simplicity is not very good. It's pretty complicated to get into. By the way, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. But the money needed to start is also a one, right? So you could, for example, if let's say you have no money to start, so you start with like $5, right? And you hit like a crazy return on your trade, like a 5x return, which is like really, 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 really good, right? A 5x return is like insane. You at the end of that, you only made $20, right? 25-ish bucks, right? So obviously you need to put in money to make the money back. So the more money you put in, the more money you make back. Also, the more money you put in, the more money you might lose, right? So it is a business model which does obviously require money to get started, because you're not just making the money out of thin air. You're multiplying your money, right? So the money needs to get started. You obviously need money to get started with it, a pretty good amount, if you want to make a pretty good amount. And the earning potential is like a 3, right? Now, the thing with day trading is that the earning potential with it is like you can hit it like crazy and make a crazy return, because day trading is kind of similar to meme coins, where it's like you can get crazy returns, but you can also get crazy losses. It's not like long term, like for example with Bitcoin kind of will like go up gradually, go gradually. With this, it's like, okay, you buy it, it goes up a good amount, you instantly sell it, right? So the thing with this is that you can if you hit it, you'll make a lot of money. If you don't hit it, you're gonna lose a lot, right? So it's kind of like make or break. There's not really an in between here. So that's why I'm saying like the earning potential, I should probably say like a 2, because if you're more likely to lose your money than make it if you're getting started, right? So I'd say day trading, not the very best business model to get into. That's why day trading, I put it down here on a D tier with Shopify. Probably should put Shopify on the F tier, but yeah, that's what I'd say with Shopify there. Next, we have editing videos, right? So when I say editing videos, I mean like, for example, you learn how to edit videos and then you offer your services to people. So you go to like YouTubers and stuff like that, and you're like, hey, I know how to edit videos. Let me edit your videos for you. That kind of stuff, right? So the simplicity of it, and actually there's a lot more ways you can edit, learn how to monetize the skill, which is why I say like the simplicity of it is really nice, right? Because editing videos is just very simple, right? Like there's tons of tutorials you can follow online, step by step how to edit videos, but like all you're doing is you're just editing videos. That's it, right? There's not really like any extra steps necessarily to it. And depending on the way you monetize your videos that you're editing, it could be more complicated, less complicated. So, for example, you could monetize it by making videos and posting them on YouTube, right? Like faceless videos. You could also monetize it, like I said, by working for someone and editing their videos for them. But the simplicity of it is that once you've got it in place, like for example, once you've signed a client that you're editing videos for, it's like, okay, nice. It's also very simple. Let's say, for example, you come to me and you're like, yo, Mark, let me edit your videos for you. It's like I could easily say, okay, let me see edit videos you've edited in the past. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. So it's kind of like you got the job there or not, compared to other forms of business where you have to do outreach to people. So that's the nice thing about the simplicity of it. The other nice thing is the money needed to start is very low. Like I said, all you need to start is maybe paying for like software to edit on. I personally edit on CapCut on my phone. When I do edit videos, it's very simple to do, very easy to get started with on CapCut. It's free. You might want to pay like $10 to upgrade your CapCut plan to the Pro plan, but point is, you don't need a lot of money to start. And the last thing is the earning potential, right? So this one, like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can monetize your videos, whether you're getting hired by someone, and then even then, depending on how good you are, you could charge really high prices or really low prices, depending on the kind of videos you're editing. You could do commission style video editing. There's a lot of different ways you could do it. So I'd say the earning potential is like, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Like if you wanted to get to the point where you're making like 5K per month doing this, depending on the monetization structure, not hard at all. Earning potential, like it's kind of okayish. It's not bad, right? It gets the job done. So I'd say it's like a 3. Overall, editing videos is kind of like pretty good, right? Not too bad. Nothing crazy though. So I'd put video editing in the B tier, right? Kind of like TikTok. So last one is Instagram automation. Now, this is the business model which I'm currently doing. So I'll show you real quick. And this is the one I talk most about on my channel. So, for example, this is a guy, like I said, I helped him to monetize his Instagram page. So you have an Instagram page, like, for example, this is the Instagram page I run. This is my main one. I have a bunch of different pages, but this is the main one I run. Posting faceless reels like this, right? So I do it in like the Andrew Tate niche, for example, but posting reels like that, and then monetizing it. So you can monetize it with, for example, a digital product. Let me open my thing here. You can monetize it selling digital products and also with email marketing, right? So, for example, like I said, one of the ways which I've monetized my Instagram page is with email marketing and digital products, right? So I get people's emails and I sell them digital products through those emails. So it's an insanely good business model if you can get it started, right? And like I said, at the peak, right? Now I try to be my best to be as transparent as possible. This is not every month, right? But like my best month ever, I made almost $40,000 in 1 month just with this Instagram page which I showed you, the one I just showed you there. Almost 40K in 1 month, right? Now, like I said, that's my best month, right? Last month it was like just under about 7,000. It was like 6.85 thousand overall, which I made. One of it came from my digital product Skool Community, which I promote from the page, which made me about 6.2 thousand, and then there's a few other revenue streams here and there. But like 6.8K per month, that's kind of like a consistent rate I'm able to hit now, just from my page, right? Just from one Instagram page. And like I said, at the peak, it's insane, right? And a lot of people who I help with this, like there's a guy recently I helped to get started with this. He made like 600 in just his first couple weeks, as a complete beginner to the model, right? Of monetizing it. So the simplicity is nice because now here's the thing about the Instagram automation simplicity, right? Let's say, for example, I were to take a bike, right? And I were to take a bike like this, like a motorcycle, not a motorcycle, like a pedaling bike, right? Something like this. And I were to take this and give it to you. Now, this is an analogy which is going to make sense, so just hear it out, right? Let's say, for example, I were to take this bike and give it to you. But let's say, for example, I were to take apart the wheels and take apart the handles, take apart the seat, and basically take it apart into individual pieces. Then I gave you the bike, and I'm like, okay, here's the bike. What are you going to do with it, right? First thing you're going to do with it is you're going to put the bike together. You're going to take the wheel, you're going to attach the wheel, you're going to take the pedals and attach them and stuff like that. And so it might take a little bit to like set up the bike and put it all together. But once you set up the bike, you only set up the bike once, right? You set up the bike, set it up once. Now, all you need to do with the bike is just sit on it and pedal, right? That's literally all you need to do every time you want to use the bike. Just sit on it and pedal. And it's very similar with Instagram automation where, like, the systems of monetizing your page might be a little bit more structured, right? So, like, for example, you have to set up a digital product and you have to set up your page, right? So you set up your page, then you set up your digital product, and you kind of had the idea of, like, how you're going to monetize it and sell that digital product. Setting it up is similar to, like, putting the bike together. Once you've set up the process or the system for your Instagram page, it's like pedaling a bike. Like, it's just so simple. All you have to do is just post videos, and everything else from there is just very passive. It's basically income on autopilot. So this is like kind of the system with my page, and I need to be more consistent with my page even now. But it's like all I have to do now is just focus on posting reels, right? The system is pretty much all just set up in place. I set it up once. It might have been a little bit confusing to set up at once, but once I set it up, now it's just all set up in place. Just all I have to do is just focus on the reels, right? And so it actually is it might be complicated one time to set it up, but it's just that once. You just bear through that, set it up once. After that, super simple, right? Very, I guess you could say passive income that you're making from that, right? So that's why I'd say the simplicity is like a 4, right? You might have to set up a few different things, but once you set it up once, never really have to even mess with it again, really, right? You might make a few tweaks in there, but money needed to start takes pretty much no money need to start. So for example, like you could create an Instagram page that's obviously free. You could create a product on like this website, totally free, or you can monetize it with emails, totally free. So don't really need any money to get started with this. One of the nicest things as well with an Instagram page compared to other social medias is like if you want to make money on TikTok, for your views, you need 10,000 followers. If you want to do it on YouTube, you have to get 1,000 subscribers and get 4,000 watch hours. On Instagram, literally, I'm not even joking. There's been people who I've helped. They made an Instagram page and made money, $70 on their first day. That guy I just showed you, Eliam, who made $100 in one day recently from his newsletter, he has 200 followers, right? So that's another nice thing. And then the earning potential is insane, right? If you can do it correctly, like I said, I made like almost 40K in 1 month from it, right? And now it's like 6 to at the most maybe 15K per month that I'll hit from my page, right? But usually on the lower range of that spectrum. So very good amount of money you can make from it. So I'd say it's like an A tier, right? I wouldn't put it at S with school or emails. But then also this is for example, the way I'm monetizing my page is I'm monetizing my Instagram page with emails, and in those emails I sell people a digital product, which is the Skool community. So last one is sales reps, which I'll rank. Now if you're like, why the heck is there I think this guy's name is Jordan Balford, Jordan Benford, something like that. But he's from a popular movie, the Bull of Wall Street, something like that. But very, very popular movie. And basically in the movie he's like a sales guy, kind of, I think. I haven't watched the movie, but he's like a sales guy, so that's why I put him there. But that's sales rep is basically where you reach out to like a company or an influencer who's selling a course or something like that, and you're like, hey, let me do your sales calls for you, and so you do sales calls for them and they pay you for that. That's basically the general premise of it. First of all, the simplicity of it is like it's not a very simple model to get into, right? Because first of all, you have to be very good at sales, right? Like you have to be very good at sales, and sales is not just something where you can just watch a 10-minute YouTube video and then suddenly be the best sales guy in the world, or even understand how sales really works. So you do have to kind of like study and understand how sales works, maybe gain some experience. So like if I was a sales rep, I wouldn't even ask people to pay me at the beginning. I would just be doing sales calls for people for completely free just to get the experience. Like, hey, can I do your sales calls for 100% free? I just want to get experience doing it. So it is something where you do need some experience to get started, because if you're, for example, like, yo, Mark, let me do your sales calls for you, I'd be like, okay, what's your experience? What's your close rate, right? How many sales calls have you taken in the past? It's something like that where you do need kind of like a background, or you need to really prove that you kind of understand it in order to get someone to hire you, or, you sign them to your agency or whatever it is like that. But so the first one is the simplicity of it is not very good. The money needed to get started is pretty much nothing. You don't really need any money to get started. Now, I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, but I need money to buy courses in order to learn sales. Not true at all, right? When it comes to like learning it, for example, Alex Ramosi, for example, Tristan Tate, pull up a video. His favorite whiskey, Johnny Walker. If you know, you know. If you know about that inside joke, let me know in the comments. But the money needed to get started is so yeah. So a lot of people are like, Mark, I need to buy courses in order to learn sales. For example, Alex Ramosi, right, put up a video last week, 2.5 hours of just like pure value of everything you need to know about how to close sales calls, how to be really good at sales and stuff like that. And so you can find like tons of in-depth YouTube videos on sales. I really recommend Alex Ramosi. He's done like 4,000 sales calls in the past like couple years, and he has like insanely high close rate. So he really knows what he's doing. He makes videos if you want to learn sales. So there are a lot of videos out there which you can find and really understand and learn the business model. So you don't really need any money to get started. I'm gonna say if you are gonna like buy courses or stuff like that for it, don't just buy like a course straight up where it's just a video course. Buy something like a community or a mentorship program where there's like Q&A calls, where there's coaching, stuff like that. I buy a lot of like courses and stuff like that, but I always buy like coaching programs or mentorships or communities where it's like something interactive with it. Lastly is earning potential. Now, earning potential, I would put it at like earning potential if you know the skill of sales, right? If there's one important like skill in business, the number one most valuable skill you can have, in my opinion, is sales, right? Because you could have a really, really crappy product. You could have really, really crappy like people who are interested in buying your stuff, right? But if you know how to sell them, it doesn't really matter how bad your product is. Now, don't go sell a bad product, but it's like you can almost any business model can work if the sales aspect is really, really, really good, right? So for example, like Alex Ramosi, you could give him a really crappy product. He'll still be able to sell it because he's just so good at sales, right? Now, obviously, he'll be able to sell a better product easier, but the point is, if he knows how to sell, or if you know how to sell, you can make any business model work. So in the long term, or with earning potential, sales is like one of the most valuable skills to learn because every business out there pretty much is selling something. So your skill will always be needed, and it's something which you can take and apply into your own business or someone else's and work for them. But the actual earning potential of how much you're going to get paid outright as a sales rep is not, it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good, especially if they're paying you on like a commission. So like you earn a percentage of how much you sell, right? So it's not bad there, right? Now I would put it at the B tier though, right? Just because of like long term, how much money that can make you, right? How much money it can make you long term is like really good because of like how much you're able to make with the long term stuff, right? So overview, one more time, hold on. Overview, I would say Skool Community, so D tier, do not do drop shipping. I wouldn't recommend day trading. C tier, the email gotcha SMA stuff. B tier, we have TikTok automation, video editing, and also sales rep. A tier, Instagram automation, and then S tier, school, community, or just a community online, and then email marketing, right? Now, if you watched to the end of this video, I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, the main business model I do is Instagram automation, and that's the main one I teach. So look, if you just want a completely free course on how to do it, there will be a top link in the bio. It will be completely 100% free. You've got my word on that. And I'll just give you my entire course for free. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but if you want like my personal mentorship and you want some help with that and stuff like that, there will be a second link in the bio. It's paid and it's not for everyone, but if you want my personal mentorship, I'll help you to start an Instagram theme page. Recently, there's someone who joined and we literally got to like 35,000 followers in the span of about 2.5, 3 weeks. So I'll help you create a faceless Instagram page and monetize it effectively like what I do myself. So first link in the bio, free guides. Second link, if you want my personal mentorship, then go to that link. So thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and I'll see you later.